guy, green pool. Shocking, didn't work. My pool went green. It's an above ground 5,000 gallon pool. 3 pounds of shock did nothing. My chlorine is 15 parts per million. I even tried a double dose of algicide with no changes. What else should I do?
Well, I'll run through all of the possible scenarios that I could see it could be. First off would be chlorine. You say you had 3 pounds of shock. We may have an issue of chloramines in the water, which binds the chlorine up. So while your tester is reading 15 parts per million, it might only have an available chlorine of, say, 2 parts per million, which is probably not enough to overcome an algae bloom. That would be number one. Number two is, let's look at metals in the water. If the water is cloudy milky green, it's probably not metals, and it's probably having to do with the chlorine. But if it's a green but somewhat clear color, it likely could be a metal issue, or in that case it could be a pH issue as well. So what causes green water is algae in the water, meaning not enough chlorine to take care of the organics in the water, but also having metals, dissolved metals in the water could also cause green, as well as a pH issue. So if your pH is way off, which again, let's go to, you added 3 pounds of chlorine, not sure what that is, that might have in itself caused a whole bunch of other things with the pH. I think what I would do to start with though is get it tested. Take it in and have them look at free chlorine versus available, free chlorine versus bound chlorine. Because if you have a high chlorine content but most of it is bound, the active chlorine may not be enough. Have them check the metals and also the pH. Sometimes just adjusting the pH is adequate. What I would suggest though for the time being also is to go to liquid chlorine. And liquid chlorine is a much faster acting, much faster, because it's dissolved, pre-dissolved in the water, in a fluid form already, and it just makes it easier to mix into the water. So hopefully that helps.